I haven't really even posted videos on my YouTube in like a long ass time. I'm a little upset about it, but like I'll get to the point and I'll talk about the side shit later. But off note, I do want to mind y'all, I've actually touched grass. And another thing too is I was thinking about it, right? The Switch and all that controversy and all that shit, right? And this is someone that's like, I've grown up with the shits, bro. I've had the Game Boy, I've had the DS, the DSi, I've had a PSP. I had a PSP Go for a little bit. If I knew how good they was, I would have kept them. But I was like a young nigga. I'm 26 now. So like I was like 11, 10, 12 in those age ranges. I didn't know the value of shit. And I didn't know how to emulate. So I digress though. But the point is, I've had this shit. I've had the Switch. I've had the light. That was kind of like a bummer, having the light. The light was a waste of money. The only reason you should get a fucking light is like if you a little kid, like you got a little kid or something. That's the only reason I think a motherfucker should really get the light for real. So now motherfuckers complaining about the pricing and all this shit, and I'm nobody, no one special, you know. So I thought I should give my 5 cents, okay? First off, the price of the system overall, I'm not gonna really complain about that. I don't really see that being a problem. A PS, what is it? What's the shit they say? A PS4 is about what? About the power, right? All right, cool. So price, I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with the pricing of the games. Now, before y'all scream at a nigga, right? When I say I don't see a problem with the games, I really don't. Because like, if you're actively buying games, that shit's gonna be about what, $100 with the DLCs. Like when Sparking Zero came out, that shit was like 100 right there, bro. That was a quick little ban right there, bro. So I'm not really seeing it being a big deal as people's making it, because like you buy X amount of games, that was $60, that's almost a console. You buy X amount of $80 games or $70 games, that's about a console. It's really, I don't know. I get the shit behind it where like they could brick your shit, they could do all this shit. That doesn't really change anything. Like I'm not saying the ethics side on Nintendo's riot and all that shit, right? I'm just saying that it doesn't change anything because Xbox, PlayStation, they could do the same shit. If they think you're doing something they don't like, they could brick your shit. If PlayStation's doing something, they could brick. Like I see it happening. Now I might do differently, like they may ban your account or something, or they may do something. So I don't know. And plus, with anything that's ever done, there's always loopholes. But I digress. Let me get to the topic, the end all. I totally do plan to either get a Switch OLED or a Switch 2, most likely a Switch 2, because I see it like this, right? I had a Steam Deck for a very short period of time, but it didn't do what I wanted to do. So for me, my situation is a little different, right? It's me literally playing on the game. I'm playing competitively. Like I'm not a pro or anything like that. I'm playing with intent. I play Apex, Minecraft, Brawlhalla, if you know that game. And I'm playing with the intent of, okay, how can I make content on this? Eventually I might loop back around to Fortnite and PUBG. How can I make content on this? What can I do to really get my name in this, like, you know, sphere for my gaming side? This is why it's on my gaming channel. So I'm always grinding in the sense of, one way or another. Everyone's grind looks different. But the problem is that I realized is, I forgot the saying of what it was, but like anything that has money or monetizable thing takes the fun away, or it was something to that effect. So with that being said, I naturally, in the past and a little bit in the present, naturally I suck some of the fun out of something, just because I used to rely too heavily on optimization of, okay, let me do everything as optimal as possible, let me think as logically as possible. And so I took a lot of the fun, the emotional, the instincts, because emotion and instincts are connected. We're not going to get philosophied over here, but I digress. But one of the things, when I had to like, I played, what was it? Cults of the Lamb, or Lamb of the Cults, or something like that. Now, when I tell you I had fun on a video game without anybody else, because don't get me wrong, you can still have fun with your homies. I had fun, man. I was playing the game. I was killing people. It felt like I was a kid again. And not for the fact of, I didn't have responsibilities. Childhood was fairly shitty. It wasn't all bad, but it was fairly shitty. So it wasn't like I was reliving nostalgia or anything like that. I felt like a kid again, bro. The kid again in the sense of I'm able to play something for hours on end and just kind of lose myself in it. So then I had BioShock, right? BioShock was at a discount. BioShock 1 and 2. And I was like, okay, I'll buy it. Then I got to like the second mission, and this is a game I remember playing with my older cousins. Like, the game scared the shit out of me when I was younger. Okay, I wasn't like I'm gonna wet the bed terrified, but I was like terrified in the sense of like watching a scary movie terrified. Like you extra paranoid, all the lights got to be on type shit. And so it's a game I've experienced. I've played it on the 360 a handful of times, but one of the things I've never actively done was beat the game start to finish and then play all the variations, because there's like 3 endings. And I mean, when I say I got BioShock 1, 2, and then that other weird one. Never played that one at all. So I want to sit down and play those eventually. And when I got the Steam Deck, one of the things that really made me mad was it didn't have Joy-Cons. Now, when I say that, right, the Steam Deck is good. You got to be willing to tinker around with some stuff, play around with the type of stuff and all that good jazz. Me personally, I only see the Steam Deck being useful is if you already got a PC and there's certain games you want to play on the go. So I honestly like the fact that I can get my Switch, place it down, slip off the Joy-Cons. I don't need to make it in the controller. I have both the Joy-Cons. Like, imagine if I had like a little stand and I'm laying back on, not really my bed, but my Japanese mattress, my little futonish thing. And I'm just laying back while the little tiny screen's right there and I'm just playing the game. I don't really expect much from it. There's a whole bunch of bullshit behind the scenes and stuff like that. That doesn't make a difference for me. If you're able to buy a product and the product gives you satisfaction to X amount of level, I don't see the problem. Like, don't get me wrong. I can see people, this greed this gotta stop. I mean, it's been like that for a minute, bro. Games used to be $60. Back when like Call of Duty was still a good game and stuff. Games used to be $60. That's it. Then you could pay for the DLC if you really wanted to. And that would be amazing. You know, you would get extra content, extra stuff. Now you have to buy the DLCs because half the games are ass and the DLC gives you the rest of the game. The gaming community has always been like this. Nothing brand new. So it's either you're not gonna buy it or you are gonna buy it and you're gonna enjoy using it. There's not really much in between. I almost don't get it, but like, I don't know. Because if you're able to get the system and you're able to have fun, enjoy playing, enjoy the time you got with it and all this other stuff, I don't see the problem. But if you see it and you're like, I don't really rock with this is stupid, then don't buy it. Like, I'm not saying you don't have no right to complain, because if you grew up with something and you feel like it's some type of injustice, speak up, say your truth, by all means. But even though I didn't play Breath of the Wild, for example, for a really long time, the experience that I got briefly made up for it. It was worth it. Plus, when I play on the Switch, right, I like for the fact that I'm able to take that. I don't know what it is. I'm able to take those little 2 controllers off and I'm able to play at a different angle. Because trying to play up with the Steam Deck or trying to play up with like any handheld, it's clunky. And then I want to set it down and actually have my hands kind of free, so I'm able to either stand up with both hands playing the game, or I'm able to sit down, play it like that. Then if I so desire, I could dock it in. I see that docking in more as a novelty than anything. But at the same time too, the only reason I would get a Switch for myself is to play the fucking games that I would never touch otherwise. I don't care if I'm paying a little extra. I would prefer not to, don't get me wrong. I would prefer if it was $60. Why are you charging extra? That's stupid. I don't really like that. But for example, Call of the Lamb, I was never going to play that on Xbox. I don't care if it was free and they gave it to me free and it was permanently installed in my account. I might touch it one time and one time only, because if I'm on my console or eventually when I get a PC, if I'm on that, I'm trying to grind. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm on my Switch, I'm gonna probably plop that bitch down and just play. And then if I'm playing, I'm probably playing a single player game, so I'm probably gonna have some music in and I'm just gonna play. Now, I don't get to do this now because I don't really hang out with people, but also having that small little thing where I'm able to play with other people because I have a controller on hand at all times, that is kind of nice. It reminds me of the DS and shit like that. It brings a little joy to me. But I got the Switch. I don't go nowhere, so I can't say, oh, it's portable. No, it's literally for the fact that it's got the Joy-Con. I'm able to plop that down on a little TV stand, turn the lights off, put my headphones in, and just play. And just call it one. I don't have to worry about if my rotations are good. I don't have to worry about if my team is giving me the right call outs. I could just play that. I can't really stream on that shit anyway, so I'm not really worried about streaming. Plus, they don't like niggas streaming the shit anyway. I'm not big on Nintendo games. Now, if they ever do make a really, really good handheld or gaming console of some sort that has like a controller similar to the Joy-Con, I probably might, venture off to that, because I'd rather, like, let's say Steam made a fucking Switch and not a Switch, right? If they did some shit like that and it was very easy to use and shit like that, I'll take that. Plus, one of the things I did see is for a lot of like the ports and the emulators, it runs optimally on Nintendo Switch. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that tracks. And it's not like I'm gonna be sitting here trying to get Odyssey, Mario Kart, and all these big hitters. Don't get me wrong. If like my bank account looking healthy or whatever, and I want to buy one of them, cool. But I'm probably gonna be looking like, let me see if I'm like, let's say I'm in GameStop, right? And if I see, this will probably be the last little bit. If I see a game where it's like a new single player game, blah, 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 or like one of those like not indie games like the Cult of the Lamb or something, I'll be like, let me download this real quick. Or better yet, Live P. I tried to play that. I played it for a little bit, just kind of wasn't really feeling it, right? I might grab that bitch on the Switch, and yeah, I'm paying a little extra, but I'm actually probably gonna play it. I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it, because I'm probably gonna have it for a minute, because I really don't be on the game like that for real. So I don't know. It wasn't really as orchestrated or articulated as I would prefer it to be, but I don't really see the big deal, because if you don't fuck with it, don't buy this shit. And then if you really got a problem, get a Steam Deck if you're okay with tinkering with some shit. I'm just gonna get a PC anyways, so me having that's not really gonna do nothing, because the PC just gonna replace my console. So there's still gonna be that, where can I get a little bit of enjoyment, because I don't really like people even when I'm on the game, unless I'm making content or unless I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So if anyone does watch this, let me know what y'all think. Let me know how y'all feeling, and be respectful. I really don't care if you disagree with me. That's not a big deal, but just don't be a dick. Catch you, bro.